Checking my audio. Just
Sounds good.
great. Thanks.
Good morning. It's 9 o'clock. Here comes everyone. Sorry if you can hear that amazing music in my background. I'm at an emergency dentist appointment with my son. Mayor Biterfluer never would have done this. Okay, I know we like to respect everyone's time. Should we? 9:01. I can't quite see on my phone who all's here, but
I think we have a quorum of the members. Actually, I think everybody is here.
hey. Okay, Jessica, you want to get us started with an update?
Yes, good morning, everyone. Go ahead and share my screen. Okay. All right, so for items that we have in progress under our single adult system, strengthening outreach to landlords, creating a welcome home community engagement program, and under our family system, piloting a peer support specialist program to outreach to families experiencing homelessness. For items that are in progress, we have resumed our HSC monthly meetings. Our last one was yesterday. All Health Path, Arapahoe County Housing Navigators, Family Tree Housing Navigators, South Metro Housing, IHC, and our McKinney-Vento liaisons are all a part of the cohort. And we procured our welcome home baskets. We've had 7 that have been distributed and 8 that have been referred. And then I'm just continuing coordination with referring agencies for drop-off and pickups for those baskets and gift cards. For our peer support specialist program, I presented the work plan to the steering committee, which was approved in November, and looking at a January, hopefully RFP issue, if not early February. For items that have been completed, continue to engage with our local healthcare providers in regards to the street medicine outreach team, sponsor a feasibility analysis for our PSH study, and that is under our single adult system. For our family system, continue to engage with local school districts as a resource partner, collaborate with school districts to ensure that our school families that are at risk of homelessness are aware of new eviction prevention programs, and we have designated our lead family service provider. For our healthcare providers and medicine outreach team conversations, continuing to stay in touch with local hospitals. I apologize. Continue to engage with our local hospitals and STRIDE, and to plan a second healthcare convening slated for early this year. For sponsoring a feasibility analysis, we are under contract with CSH, and that contract was executed on in October of 2025. And I do have biweekly meetings with CSH, and in between those meetings, supporting their work and coordination of items that they need to complete their analysis. For our local school districts as a resource partner, we've resumed our monthly meetings. I met with the McKinney-Vento liaisons yesterday. Continue to stay up to speed on resources that are in the area. So community partners, power hour meetings monthly, and our NFP community advisory board meetings. For items that have been completed, collaborating with school districts I have introduced the MKB liaisons to rental assistance programs that are available. And as we lean into work with our lead family service providers, CEDP, familiarize them with their services that can be of support to the families. And then just continue to convey new seasonal and rental eviction resources. And I do that through a monthly resource sheet that I update based off of resources that are current. For our lead family service provider, the bid was closed in September of 2025, followed up with responses, and we are under contract with CDP. That was executed in December of 2025. And I do have weekly meetings with CDP to discuss logistics, action items that are needed in order to get our case conferencing completely underway. And we're hoping to have that and all of the administrative pieces in place beginning in March. And they will help case conference families in our family working group. So that lands us at 31% completed and 12% that is still in progress. Additional items supporting our PIT committee and our PIT count, which is today. I did incentive bags packing with Arapahoe County. And then our last regional meeting was the 22nd and the PIT count is today. And then continuing, I completed the quality data report reviews and our PPE through MDHI to support veteran functional zero. So the PPI and quality data report was completed, submitted on the 16th to Community Solutions, and it is under review with them for functional zero status. And then I'm also facilitating our by name list transition to a new agency, and the new agency is slated to lead and manage those case conference meetings in March. For our lived experience board, I've outreach to community partners. We have 3 board members and then 2 vacancies to fill. The first one will be held in Arapahoe County, and I'm currently working on the service agreements for all board members to successfully begin those meetings. And that's all I've got.
Any questions for Jessica about all that progress?
Mayor Pro Tem, may I make a comment?
Yeah.
Thanks. I know this is Jim Becklenburg, City Manager for Littleton, and I know sometimes these reports can feel kind of perfunctory, but I want to thank Jessica just for all the work, because in that update, in that five minutes, was lots of progress on things that are sometimes hard to see. So, I know the policy group committee appreciates your work, and we just need to tell you that with the whole group here more often. So thank you so much for all that work.
Thank you, Jim.
Here.
Hi, this is Linda Olson. Could I also ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
Jessica, thanks for your work too. I agree with what Jim said. It's a lot, and I wanted to ask, are there areas that are some pain points that if you could have this group or anybody from within the cities help you move the needle a bit? Can you identify 1 or 2 of those things?
Yeah, thank you, Linda. I think some good connections with hospitals and leads in hospitals, potentially like the social work teams would be really beneficial. And I think that can really help our support with connecting Stride to those leads and just familiarizing them with the resources that are available, especially with all the cold weather that we're experiencing.
Oh, I do remember talking to you about the hospitals.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if Sean in particular, well, in Littleton, are there ways we can connect her better with what's going on? They tend to, especially the for-profits, not really be all that interested.
Yeah, it's a it's a lofty lift. Sorry, we have had some success with the University Hospital. I am working with there's one hospitalist and one intensivist that discharge patients from the inpatient side, and we have begun to pilot a program for university on the unhoused that get discharged from the inpatient side to kind of like the ether out there. And so far, we have looked at 3 patients, and of those 3 patients, we were able to not close the loop, but do their follow-up care for them. Within the first 7 days, they've been discharged. The third patient we lost, because as they were discharged from the hospital, they didn't go to any shelter. So we're not sure where exactly that they went. So we're still trying to figure out kind of how that pattern goes, but we've begun work at the Aurora Regional Navigation Center. We started there roughly 5 weeks ago, and in the first 5 weeks that we opened the small clinic doors, we've had 228 people walk through those doors, and we had 87 provider visits. So in essence, we've deterred 87 visits to the ER so far there, but as it kind of grows and changes, and they're having difficulty with building their infrastructure there, we just kind of continue to work through the progress. But that's kind of the central point of getting people out of the hospital, especially university, into that navigation center. So it does play an important role, and if we can use that type of data to show for-profit hospitals that yes, you may see a large influx or may not see a large influx. Either way, it happens. But if I was just to take a very large number, let's just say I had 90 patients every month that we removed from a hospital, were discharged from a hospital that we were actually able to provide care for, or patients that we were able to deter from a hospital, roughly that's 1.6 million we're saving the hospital, especially in ER charges coming through. And if that
So-
patient does end up getting admitted from an ER into emergency room, the average stay we look at is about 11 grand for
So
a
can
10-day
I
stay.
interrupt just for a second on that?
Sure.
Because I think what I'm wondering about is in the very local area of the 3 cities, do they all go to University Hospital and downtown? They're not part of Swedish, Littleton.
Some go to Swedish. The majority that we're seeing patients that we do see at the navigation center up that way do come from Swedish. But when we go to Hatborst, we work with Julie down there. A lot of patients we do send to Swedish. In fact, we had 3 when we did the cold weather shelter. We did at Swedish, but Jessica knows we're having a lot of difficulty trying to work with the hospitals to actually
Yeah,
get them to
so that's what
respond.
that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
So I appreciate your data on that. That's really helpful. It doesn't sound like it's very easy, but I guess I'm addressing the city managers and perhaps the city council members. We used to have a hospital liaison group that was quite active for Englewood at different times, and we met with the president of Swedish, and I mean, shame sometimes was the only way we got things done. But if we can have stories and specifics of what happens when people go in and out of the very, very local hospitals in the 3 cities or adjacent to it, such as Porter, that might be a way to come up with a model that might be better.
Yeah, we have a provider now that moonlights at Porter, and she and I have been working diligently with Porter Hospital to try to get this done. Our biggest problem with Porter is that the ER staff, the ER physicians want to make this happen, but we're having problems with Epic. So if they have a patient that they are sending out of Porter, there's no way to get that referral into Epic and through to us. So we are trying to utilize other avenues as possibly a phone call to our street medicine phone or an email out. So there's the difficulties in trying to do that, but we've been able to. I'm only using university as kind of like our sounding board right now because it's the one thing that works.
Okay,
The
so I
doctor
guess
they just called
I
me.
know
So
what
if I
you're
can
doing,
get
and I appreciate it, but can I ask Jim and Sean to respond? Or I don't know if Sheridan is there. Have you talked with hospitals at the top level to say this has to start happening? Because people at the lower level don't seem to be able to make it happen. But I might be misinterpreting. This has been and Sean knows this. This was my issue when I was the mayor. It just drove me nuts that the hospitals. But Sean or Jim, do you have any? I can see your hand up, Jim.
Yes, first, we appreciate Sean's team's work so much because we know that that hard work is happening. To Linda's question, yes, I know, well, I'll speak for myself that I have had a strong relationship with the Littleton Adventist CEO. They're in a transition right now. They've actually recently hired their new CEO with whom I have scheduled breakfast coming up. So those relationships go on, and this is an issue that we talk about. I would say that what's most helpful is the specifics from this team. I think it would be helpful while I talk in generalities about the need for this coordination. It's always helpful to have kind of specific anecdotes and examples of what's happening and what specifically could be better. So it's all those on this call who are involved with that work. I would appreciate that help.
Yeah, we're still in Inglewood. We're still having the meetings with Swedish. They've really kind of transformed into construction updates with the old Hamden Complete Streets project. We have made some time for this. Jessica and I were I was messaging her that we really should talk about this in the steering committee in terms of what the ask is, because really what we've concentrated on is, data sharing, which we have not gotten a lot of help on. But I think that if we can kind of pinpoint maybe our key asks, and Linda, thank you for your encouragement on that. And we'll definitely do that at our steering committee later this month, so that we can get a really good ask. And I think we'll hopefully get some more cooperation. And I see Jason maybe has something to add too.
Yeah, thanks, Sean.
Thank you. Yeah, great conversation and timely one. The Metro Denver Homeless Initiative is partnering with hospitals across the state, and our homeless management information system is an integral part of the Colorado Social Health Information Exchange, or COSHI. The story that Sean just told about sort of losing someone, this data sharing agreement, which incorporates HMIS and EPIC, are ways that hospitals can look someone up and see if they've gone to another shelter or if they've been housed. But it just really, this data sharing implementation has really helped with care coordination. And so I think, Jessica, finding a way to kind of pull you into what MDHI is doing with, at this point, sort of pilot level connections with regional hospitals, I think could be really valuable.
Thank you. I think I saw another a notification come across. Who was next?
Yeah, I'd be happy to go. This is Doug Muir. I'm the regional leader for behavioral health for Common Spirit, and we're not as active in the Tri-Cities region, obviously with the disaffiliation from Advent Health. But similar to what Jason just said, a lot of the healthcare systems have worked on establishing care compacts and legal agreements, and so it would take some work to get the specificity necessary for this relationship, but I think there's definitely opportunities to connect, just like you mentioned, with some of the groups that have been meeting and have facilitated similar relationships in other regions. And, that was one that was mentioned. Douglas County has a care compact that's close to you guys, that I believe both Advent Health University and all the major health systems are involved in. And so, there's you know, but between the partnerships with the case management leadership and the behavioral health leadership, but also getting it kind of approved by the folks that are doing the healthcare system privacy, you know, is kind of the keys. And then once it's been blessed is when the IT pieces can fall into place that are truly beneficial. So, you know, I think Jason has the right idea, just making some of those connections. It's not the CEOs, it's not the folks that do the care coordination. It's kind of, you know, to be honest, it's the folks that work on these partnerships, and we're all doing them because the states required them for things like hospital transformation program, right? And so we've been able to kind of figure it out and partner as it relates to this sharing, and so you know, if you guys want to connect with me offline, I'll try to, you know, help connect some dots.
Thank you so
That sounds
much.
great.
Yeah. I know we have an update from Christina Garcia on the Colorado Economic Defense Project. So I want to move this along, but
Yep.
it seems like I've made note, Jessica's made note, city managers have made note. So we will follow up on this. Jessica, I don't know if you want to introduce Christina. I wish could do so better, but let's pass it on over.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Christina and the CDP team. We have a few members on the call. CDP is our lead family service provider, but they also offer a wealth of services to the community. So I'd like to introduce Christina Garcia, Chief Program Officer with CDP, to speak to some of their services.
Thank you, Jessica. Hello, everyone. I'm Christina Garcia. I use she, her pronouns, and very proud to represent CDP here with a few of my colleagues. I'll have them introduce themselves as well. I'll kick it over to Cesar first.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. My name is Cesar Jimenez. I'm the Vice President of Housing and Supportive Services here at CDP. Nice to meet you all, and I'll pass it over to Philip.
Hi, I'm Philip Bruce. I'm our Director of Supportive Services at CDP, and will help support this process.
And I believe we also have Shauna on the call.
Yep. Hi, everyone. My name is Shauna Elvier. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the VP of Housing Stability Programs.
Awesome. Well, thank you for inviting us into this space. We were invited to come speak to the programs that CDP offers. It's a pretty high-level overview. I'll try to run through as quickly as I can. There's quite a bit that we do in community, but please feel free to stop me and ask questions. I'm going to see if I'm allowed to share my screen. Is that working for people? Okay. So CDP started, if I can do this. Does it work? Okay. All right, great. We started back in about 2020 in response to the COVID-19 pandemic as an all-volunteer attorney organization, and we quickly launched into providing various different programs for the community. This started as like a Facebook post. So our founding attorney put out a notice to folks to provide free legal aid support. And by the next morning, received over 400 responses for folks needing that support. We then, oh gosh, this is not working for me. There we go. We now have grown to one of the largest homelessness prevention organizations across the state. We have folks on the ground in 4 different regions. We have distributed over $3 million in assistance for eviction prevention, foreclosure prevention, and other homelessness prevention programs. The majority of the folks that we serve are from the BIPOC community. And we proudly are in all of the bolded, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but all of the bolded regions across the state. What sets us apart is the infrastructure that we have developed internally that allows us to cut checks really quickly and can deliver them to all four corners of the state. We have been known to, what I like to say is, stop sheriffs in their trucks and keep people in their homes. We have an in-house attorney firm that allows us to really set up supportive services and legal defense in a way that has been recognized by the White House as best practice. There's many different ways that folks can reach us. We partner with community providers. They can contact our care center. We are at eviction courts and directly contacting us through our website, etc. As I mentioned, when we started providing legal aid and then quickly emergency rental assistance, we realized that folks needed a lot more support in order to be able to fully stabilize them in their home. Over the past 5 years, we've expanded to provide a wide variety of services to support that mission. As I mentioned, our care center is a statewide call center that folks can contact us Monday through Friday. The wait times to speak to an actual person is less than 1 minute. And so folks can get directly connected to someone who can then identify the program, the emergency program that they are needing, and then also connect them to resources. We offer chat, text, and phone call assistance for folks in multiple different languages, which is a great way to connect with all folks in the way that they need best. Our eviction diversion team has provided themselves over $230 million of rental assistance through various different programs listed here. And we are also in community, so we'll set up at eviction courts right outside their courtroom and try to intercept folks and make sure that they are aware of the resources that we provide. And we do that across multiple different regions, and we partner with various different legal aid services, including CED law. We also have a foreclosure prevention team. This one is funded through the state of Colorado. It is winding down, but it has provided support with folks to maintain their home, to include mobile home park owners. We've supported folks with paying lot rent in those areas. I'm going through quickly, but again, please stop me if you have any questions. We are HUD Housing Counseling certified. We've paired this resource with our foreclosure prevention team, which has proven very effective in order for us to best stabilize folks that are needing that additional support. We also provide tenant counseling and a homelessness counseling for folks that are transitioning. We provide the services for the property tax rebate through the city and county of host. Eligibility criteria is listed here. I'll send out these slides so you guys have all of this information to share with your people. But we can support with property tax rebates in city and county of Denver. We also have a pilot supporting veterans for homelessness prevention services funded through Community Solutions. This program started last year, but has already proven quite successful. We coordinate with the VA to ensure folks that have been referred to rapid rehousing programs and other and other VA programs that they actually maintain that resource and do not exit back into homelessness. Our integrated supportive services team couples case management, peer support, and clinical services to provide a full wraparound support for our clients in rapid rehousing, homelessness prevention, and permanent supportive housing programs. We do this across the state and for some programs in the Northeast and Denver Metro. We have a housing navigation team specifically that partners with landlords in the community, providing them orientation to our programs. We support folks with connecting to housing quickly. We boast some of our programs have a 40-day success rate with connecting people to housing. So from homelessness to housed in about 40 days. Our housing navigators walk alongside folks to fill out applications, tour units, talk to landlords about items that might be on their background and how to navigate those challenges. We have an in-house benefit enrollment and digital equity team. These folks will connect folks with access to benefits. We administer Energy Outreach Colorado in-house. We'll connect them to that. We have provided cell phones, laptops, and other support with connecting people to broadband services. And we have an in-house EDPNA, which is a non-attorney that has supported people with fighting their Social Security denials. That has been very successful in the past several years, unlocking quite a bit of funds for our community. We do in-house voucher administration for the Division of Housing. We have over 700 vouchers across the state, and we have partnerships with Remerge, Second Chance Center, IRC, All Roads, among others, to ensure that the folks that are on these subsidies maintain them and complete their recertifications and all of their requirements necessary in order to ensure their long-term success. We have an in-house resource navigation team that keeps all of our resources up to date on our website through our knowledge base. They also provide internal resources for our case managers. As many know, case managers spend the majority of their time trying to scour the universe for resources, and our in-house resource navigation team does that for them and connects them quickly with real-time information on how to make those smooth transitions between agencies. We have a community outreach team that connects with agencies to provide know your rights trainings in conjunction with our legal team and supports our resource navigation team to stay up to date on all of the information and resources available in the community. And the most impactful one is that we believe in case to cause. So we elevate the stories and challenges that our clients are facing and bring that to our policy team to support legislative change where necessary. I have quite a few slides here, again, that I'll share out with everyone with the specifics on the different homelessness prevention programs that we administer in-house. The Colorado Emergency Rental Assistance Program is a major one. The information on how to get connected is listed here. Main takeaway here is the care center is the connection for folks. If they call our care center, they can get added to the wait list if they have a summons. Otherwise, they'll participate in a monthly random selection administered by the state themselves. We administer the TRUA program. So for the City and County of Denver, the Rental and Utility Assistance Program, is a monthly random selection, but again, folks can call our care center to get more information on how to apply each month. Our folks are always welcome to access us at our offices, especially during the monthly random selection opening days, for us to walk them through how to apply. We administer rental assistance for the city of Commerce City as well, who we are very grateful that they have dedicated resources for this effort. And it also provides mortgage assistance and vehicle repair assistance. We administer the HRP program through the state of Colorado, previously known as ESG. This one is also statewide, targeted for folks that are below 30% AMI. And the way that we have coordinated these efforts is, again, when they reach out to us, we will identify which program they're eligible for, which one has the most immediate opening, so that they can access the resources they need in real time to stop their eviction. So folks don't necessarily need to know the difference between any of these programs. They can just contact us and then we'll connect them to the program that is the best fit for them. We also administer the Transformational Homelessness Response, or THOR, program across the state. We do this for rapid rehousing and homelessness prevention. Here I'm only highlighting the homelessness prevention program. We prioritize this for the most vulnerable folks, so 30% AMI at most risk of displacement, so summons or beyond, and those on housing subsidies, so that we can ensure that they're maintaining those resources that are really hard to get. I referenced this earlier, our Veterans Homelessness Prevention Program. The way folks can get connected to that is either through the VA Coordinated Entry Specialist, Lauren Lipinski, or by calling the VA hotline, and then referrals will come to our program directly. And then Westminster has joined the fight as well and has dedicated resources specifically for homelessness prevention. This launched this year, and folks can contact our care center to be connected. Ta-da!
Nice. Thank you, Christina.
Yeah.
Does anyone else on your team want to add anything before we check for questions?
No, I think everything was fully covered by Christina. Thank you all.
Okay. Anybody have questions? That was a lot of information. I know they do a lot of things.
Yeah, Council Mayor Pro Tem, I just wanted to say, Christina, thanks for the information. It's really impressive, the scope of services, and I've heard nothing but good things about the organization, and looking forward to, is it you who's going to be presenting at our Tri-Cities Joint Council meeting? Great, look forward to, and you and Jessica are working on some background information for our councils, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Looking
Yes.
forward to hearing that presentation as well.
Any other thoughts or questions for them? I look forward to hearing that update as well. And I was just trying to think, how can I summarize all this for our council? But I don't have to. You'll do it. Just much better. If there aren't questions, I mean, if we get that slide deck, that would be great. And then we can email questions too as they come up, or things later. But should we move on then to any roundtable announcements or things to put out there for this community for the next month?
I have a
One
question for
item-
Jessica regarding the pit. So how is it? It's today, right? Is it today?
It is.
And how are things going in maybe Arapahoe County folks and everything? You have more than enough people.
We do. So the county lead is Cameron, and the teams worked really, really hard at making sure that all areas are covered. And yeah, they're really excited to be out there and to be supporting Pitt.
Any last minute needs that this group could help address, or is it all sewn up, which would be great?
Cameron's done an amazing job at coordinating, and the whole Arapahoe County team is supporting. So I think everyone is good to go.
It's great. Good
Yeah,
luck
I
tonight.
think Jessica said it well, that we really had a lot of turnout this year for getting all of our spots filled. And I don't think, Linda, thank you for asking, that there's anything last minute that we need. I know there was a lot of outreach yesterday outside, and then today we've got our fixed locations that we'll be doing throughout the day as well. So my understanding is everything's fully staffed up. So thank you for checking on that.
It's great. Good luck tonight. I hope it
Thank you,
goes well.
Linda. And also thank you to Julie with Hat Force. She's been a huge support in the process as well. And yeah, it's been a great process and great teamwork.
Okay, anything else for the roundtable? I know Jessica mentioned they're looking for 2 more people for the lived experience group. Julie, any updates for this freezing cold weather? See Sean's note there to invite everyone to our Tri-Cities meeting. We're covering a lot of information. Julie was frozen for a second. Do you think you have it, Julie? Nope. Still frozen. It's okay. I saw you blink. Okay, if we're good, that's okay, then let's wrap it up. I gotta go check on my son's teeth anyway, and our next meeting is February 24th. So mark your calendars, and thank you for being here this morning.
One item, Mayor Pro Tem, if I may,
Yeah.
Jason Johnson with the Metro Denver Homeless Initiative. We are going to be doing a number of regional presentations in March about the regional strategic plan and framework, as well as talking about some restructuring that the board of directors will be going through to make sure our COC is more representative of the various different subregions here in Metro Denver. And I'd love to get on the agenda for March meeting. I need about 30 minutes if possible. So just putting that ask out there now for time in March. Great, thanks, Jessica. Looks like Andrea's busy with the dentist. So sorry to interrupt her wrap up, but thanks, Jessica. Thanks. Look forward to speaking with all of you in March.
Yes, I'll make sure I get you on the agenda, Jason. And thank you for that.
Thanks, everybody. See ya.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Good day, buddy.